I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, welcome to my favorite normal types for each generation. Now, this list initially started because I wanted to pick my favorite Pokemon, like fairly from all 700 and however many there are right now. I think there are 731 or 32 revealed right now. Officially, there's only 720 because the rest isn't released yet. But that aside, I wanted to pick my favorite Pokemon fairly. So I decided to do each type separately and check per generation what my favorite is, and then check from those what my favorite is, and just kind of keep going until finally there is one Pokemon left. Well, I haven't gotten to that point yet, so why not make them into videos? Then I could practice my video editing skills a little bit as well, so yeah, let's go. So for Generation 1, we have Ditto. Now, this was really mostly a thing because I have a lot of nostalgia regarding Ditto. As a kid, and now as well, by the way, I was never able to pick one favorite Pokemon. And I just love Ditto because it could transform into all these different Pokemon. Like, every single one in existence that it has seen, it can transform into. It is all Pokemon in one Pokemon. So that was just great to me. It was perfect. So, Ditto is my favorite Gen 1. Despite the usage these days just for breeding and not really competitive unless you have Imposter, and yeah, Ditto. So for Generation 2, we have Teddiursa. Now this is just a really cute little bear that I've always loved. I got into Pokemon basically when the Dutch channels decided to broadcast it, and well, I was like 3 or something, so I don't remember everything, but my clearest memories from watching the Pokemon anime are probably the Johto series. And from that, it's just Teddiursa was so cute. Ursaring is great and all, but I actually like Teddiursa's design a lot better because it's just cuter and squishier, and it's great. So, Teddiursa. For Generation 3, oh, this was hard. There were a lot of underwhelming Pokemon in here, but also a couple that were on equal footing with this one. But I finally settled on Exploud. Now, why Exploud, I honestly don't know. It was mostly an in-the-moment decision, like, do I pick Exploud or Slacking? Well, I like Exploud better than Slacking, so Exploud it is. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of Generation 3 Mons that I love from the normal type. And same with Generation 1, by the way. I didn't even note that. I have so many fond memories of raising a Rattata and Raticate. Despite being pretty terrible stat-wise and everything, I just Hyper Fang. When you get a Rattata and you start to raise it, you get Hyper Fang at like level 14 or something, and it's just a really nice thing. But yeah, I don't even have a lot of memories of Exploud. It's a great Pokemon. I love its giant purple design. So, Exploud. Generation 4. Now, this one was actually a lot easier to me. For Generation 4, my pick is Ambipom. Now, in Generation 2, I was thinking, but what about Aipom? I do love Aipom, but I like Ambipom better. Well, that makes Ambipom a really good qualifier for Generation 4. And when I went through the rest of the Pokemon, it's just nothing really trumped Ambipom. It was this great thing because I used to play table tennis, at least for like half a year or something. I really loved it. I still love it, by the way. But then when I got into table tennis, the Pokemon anime had Ambipom, right? Ash had an Ambipom. So when he got into Pokemon table tennis, I was just so amused and endeared, and it just stuck with me ever since. So definitely Ambipom for Generation 4. Generation 5. Oh, I can say so many bad things about Generation 5. It is my least favorite generation. I can say that much. Design-wise, I'm not very fond of it. But during my Pokemon hiatus, basically, which happened during Generation 5, uh, Generation 4 already kind of became weaker to me, and it kind of died down, and Generation 5 just wasn't convincing to get me back. But when Generation 6 came around, the Generation 5 plushes were on sale, right? So, yeah, there was this little Minccino plush, and it was on sale, and it was beautiful. I couldn't find my old plushes at the time, so I bought it and slept with it for like maybe 2 years or something before I found my old plushes back, and it stuck with me ever since. And I grew a fondness for Minccino and Cinccino, so for Generation 5, my pick is Cinccino. It has a great ability with skill link, learning things like bullet seed and stuff. I've seen it in competitive action, and it's pretty cool. Plus, the design is great. I always loved chinchillas, so definitely Cinccino. And finally, for Generation 6, there is, well, not a lot of choice, honestly. For this list, I excluded the flying types because you know how flying types are, right? There is only one pure flying type, and there's only one evolution line that has flying type as primary type. So I decided that the normal flying types count as flying types and not as normal types. So that for Generation 6, that really only left like one or two Pokemon to choose from, which was really disappointing. So from those very few choices, my favorite would be Diggersby. I do have a fondness for ground types, but it's not really that I have a giant fondness for Diggersby. I never really used one, so I can't judge properly. Maybe after I have a playthrough with it, I will be a lot fonder of it, but for now, it's not very high on my priority list. Like, among these, like, if this was a top 6 from the generations, Diggersby would be on the bottom. I don't know who would be at number 1. I'm doubting between Ambipom and Cinccino. I really love those two. I think Cinccino would win. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and remember that these are just my opinions.